Hello there. This is our lesson 1. I'm so glad you showed up for class, boys. This is about blondes prefer gentlemen, and this is your first in a little series of a special personal tutoring about what it takes to become a gentleman. And before we go into all of the meat and potatoes about specific things about what you can do to be a gentleman, how about let's answer the question, why? Why do you want to be a gentleman? What are the advantages of being a gentleman? Well, there are many. There are many advantages to being a gentleman. First one is it earns you respect. I mean, people who you are respectful to, they respect you back. I mean, think about the opposite of being a gentleman, which is being crass and crude and rude. I mean, who wants to be around that? It seems like that is sort of more the norm and more accepted, to be crass and crude. Well, ladies don't like that, and neither do potential employers and stuff. Another part is that it earns you trust. When you are a gentleman, you're honest in all your dealings, and your politeness and your consideration. It helps to make people feel comfortable around you, and they'll entrust you with all kinds of, confidences that otherwise they feel they can't impart some special information to you. They will not. So that's another one. The other part is that it can really help your career to be a gentleman. Potential employers are always looking at who is going to be representing their company and their product, or if you're in sales, you're just the way that you are perceived by others, because also being a gentleman has to do with how you're groomed and how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you talk, how you sit, how you move your hands, how your hands are groomed, all of those things. And we'll go into each of those things in greater detail as time progresses. And finally, I can think of some more, but as a lady, as a single lady, I mean, being a gentleman makes you more attractive to the quality women. Women love men who will treat them like a lady, and a true woman absolutely demands that kind of respect. As if she respects herself as a lady, she would think of nothing less than having a gentleman to be her beau. So those are, part of that is just seems like common sense, but I didn't want to, state the obvious. But in the Wikipedia, a gentleman is defined as a person whose manners are indicative of refinement and intelligence, and also that treating others, especially women, in a respectful manner is what makes you a gentleman. Now, here's the good news about that. If you don't feel like you have those qualities at the moment, the great news is not just good news, it's great news. Every gentleman out there was not born that way. That's what refinement intelligence means, is that it can be acquired, it can be learned. It's a skill, and that means that anybody can be a gentleman. I have a few examples of great gentlemen, and the whole beginning of Zorro, where Antonio Banderas' character and Sean Connery, he says, what you need is charm, and about being a gentleman. And Sean Connery in James Bond, he is a total gentleman, and he is no less of a man because he is refined and intelligent and smooth. Robert Wagner is a great example of a gentleman who dines with manners, who dances with manners, who holds himself and speaks with such refinement. And, we're not saying you have to be that kind. I'm just using them as pinnacles, as examples of what a gentleman looks like. And so I hope you do stay with me, and if you do have concerns that you might not be able to do it, rest assured, being a gentleman is something that is acquired. Anybody can do it. And so, if you trust me, I will be grateful to teach that. How wonderful would that be to have more gentlemen? We have enough gross people in the world. We need more gentlemen. We need more ladies. So I'm going to do my part to help the ladies be more ladylike, and I would love it if you would allow me to teach the men, you, how to be more gentlemanly. So this is sort of the introduction as to why it's so great to be a gentleman. Why go through it? Because it is some work, but it's worth it in the long run. You'll get a more quality job, you'll get a more quality woman, you'll have a higher quality of life. And that is a promise from my heart to yours. So thanks for sticking it out with me, and please do send me your inquiries. Thank you so much. I'm Dianne Hanks.